Hey Brainiacs, how you guys doing today? I'm Cam's Brain, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of My Humble Opinion. Today we're going to be talking about the 48 Laws of Power. If you guys are new here, we've been breaking down a book called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And what we do every Sunday at 8 p.m. is break down each law of power, and we figure out how we can use this in our everyday lives, in relationships, in our business, and spiritually. Today is no exception. We're going to be talking about the 24th law of power, which is play the perfect courtier, or play the perfect courtier. Some people are going to pronounce that different than others, but basically what it's saying is be the best counselor that you can be in the position you're in. And it's basically a confidant, a friend. If you were an assistant to somebody that's very important. Basically, this law of power is saying you have to practice being the best friend you can be. You have to practice being the best advisor that you can be based on the people and the person that you choose to be around. If I give you an example, say for instance, you have a celebrity. Let's use Jay-Z for instance, with him and his relationship with his friend Ty, right? It's a situation where he may be a good courtier to Jay-Z because he's a good advisor. He's somebody that's not going to just say yes, and he's not going to just say no. He's basically not going to be a hater. He's going to give the best advice that he can give based on the circumstances that are going on and that are happening. So playing a perfect courtier in business is important when you're learning from somebody else that knows a little bit more than you. When I started doing a lot of businesses, I found that I had to basically be an apprentice to certain people. And the more I was an apprentice to certain people, the more they began to realize I was an asset instead of a liability. But I was only an asset because I was able to play the perfect courtier. I was able to answer questions based on research and not just my thoughts. I was able to solve problems by figuring out how things can be done instead of guessing. If I was working with somebody that was doing a banquet or something like that, say for instance a party planner or a photographer or something like that, instead of trying to just think of what can help the situation, I figured out, or instead of trying to fix a bad situation, I try to figure out how we can avoid bad situations. If we were going somewhere and I knew that the weather may be bad, I would look to see what the forecast was. I would make sure we had umbrellas. I would make sure we had things to cover cameras. I would make sure that we had the right type of gear, the right type of clothing to make sure that it didn't become an issue before it even could become an issue. So in business, playing a perfect courtier has a lot to do with a lot of research, a lot of understanding, a lot of commitment, and a lot of ability to solve problems before they occur. Now, in a personal situation, it's almost like you have to figure out how you can avoid arguments, how you can avoid there being certain altercations or situations that may offend another person when you're in a situation where you're beginning or you're starting to learn that individual. The biggest aspect in playing a perfect courtier in a relationship is being able to be a good cheerleader, is being able to be a good partner for the person that you're around. Even if you are in a friendship or if you're in a romantic relationship, you want to be able to be that person's better half. The significant other usually plays a very important part in a lot of different things that you have, or that both of you guys will have going on in a relationship. They play a big part. So you being a help, you not being a liability, and you being an asset to that person in a relationship is basically playing the perfect courtier, giving great advice, giving great affection, giving great communication, being able to understand what somebody's going through, knowing when you should listen and not try to solve a problem, but just listen to the person that's venting. All those things play in being a perfect courtier in a relationship. Now, in a spiritual sense, I think it just relates to the concept of communicating with your higher power, whoever you believe in. What I've learned in my own walk in my spiritual life is that I'm not here just for me. I'm here to show others and tell others about what I believe in. And if I truly believe in that, I have to play the perfect courtier to my higher power, whether that be witnessing, whether that be sharing my life experiences that can possibly help another person, whether it just be being a great example. That's playing a perfect courtier to my higher power, because I'm showing my higher power and you're showing your higher power that you're taking the things that you read, you're taking the things that you have learned and the things that you've seen, and you're projecting that out in a positive way to the people around you. So that's how I feel about that and these three things that we typically talk about. But more importantly, I want to know what you guys feel about this. Let's all get involved. You guys make sure you comment down below. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on the notification bells and share this as well. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying, if you disagree with what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I am Cam's Brain, and this is my humble opinion. I will see you next time. Peace.
Hey, all work, no pleasure.